Welcome back to the Burnout Brighter podcast. I will be your host for today's events. My name's Destiny, and I am joined by my two wonderful co-hosts, Matt.
What up, what up?
And Darren.
Hello.
And we also have the amazing, most wonderful game developer of Validate, Dani.
Hi.
Dani, it's so good to have you on. I remember when me and Matt were watching the show, basically, and we were just like, yo, we have to have her on. I was so excited to see like another Black female up there just doing her thing. And you have really been doing your thing. Like, your game looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to play it. I'm all about dating games. When I was young, long time ago, I tried writing my own, but that's not important.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on. I work a lot.
I can tell you're putting in the work for it, and we're all excited to jump into it. Like, really, Matt and Darren are going to play it too. I'm going to make them play it.
I was playing the demo like an hour ago.
How'd you like it?
I loved it. It was so fun. I played as, hold on, I wrote down the names because I'm horrible with names sometimes. I was Ashley, and I was hanging out with Yolandi. And I had their conversation is awesome. I love the writing. It's very honest, and especially like with Ashley, a lot of her inner turmoil and stuff is kind of like, man, I've had a lot of these same thoughts and stuff. It was awesome. I really had a good time with it.
Awesome. That's great. Honestly, that's kind of just the whole goal, that we just want people to like feel like they're in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that it hit you.
Yeah.
It did. It definitely did.
No, the writing is great on it. Like, the characters are very relatable, especially when it comes to dating and just living in today's society and going through the shit that we're going through. But Dani, I'd really love you to tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself, a little bit. We'll get into the game, but just so people know a little bit about Dani, what makes Dani tick?
Okay. What about me? I recently had to write a little biography about myself for PAX, and I was just like, damn, who am I? That's just my constant thing. I hate when people
easy
like,
question, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just like, what do I tell them that's just not insane? I feel like when I talk to people sometimes, they're just like, is she okay? Like,
please be insane. If you've seen any of our like podcasts, like we embrace insanity.
Far from normal.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, I am a kick-ass non-binary Black woman game dev. I'm also a writer. I've been writing for 10 years.
Oh.
I've been writing since I was a little 12-year-old kid on the internet, writing fan fictions about my favorite YouTubers. And now I'm writing for games. So look how far we've gone. Started from the bottom, now we're here, or whatever Drake said.
Yeah.
So now I'm just doing that. I'm a recent college grad. I have a degree in communications. Thank you. I have a degree in communications, which I always say I have a degree in nothing, because it's nothing to me. It's like getting an art history degree. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. But I mean, like, the fact that you went through it and you got it, that's still great, because I'm not doing shit with any of my 2 degrees, so kudos to you.
No, I feel like it's just like life is just about getting a degree and not using it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not using it.
That's literally what it's turned into. I think it's because,
get the paper, you put it on the wall.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But I think it's just because the generation before us, like, we're taught that, like, the best way to succeed in life was to get a degree. And things have changed so much since then that we're still, like, harping on old school knowledge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you have 17-year-olds on TikTok making millions of dollars from dancing. And I'm just like, wow.
And could have never saw that coming. Yeah.
Yes,
damn it! I shouldn't be doing video games. I should be dancing on TikTok.
No, for real, they make so much money.
They make a lot of money.
I have a couple friends that I went to.
Taking other people's dances. It's not even like they're like making their own dances half the time. They're just like taking other people's dances and redoing it. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, and speaking of TikTok, I hope this is not a weird question to ask, but I'm so curious because I was reading an interview with you from gamingmag.com, and they called you an emo TikTok legend. And I want to know because Matt and I had our fair share of emo phases growing up. What is it
I
about?
never grew out of it. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
Matt never grew out of it. What is it about emo culture that's so attractive?
So when you're 13, I guess I was 13 at the time, you get into Pierce the Veil and then you just never let it go.
Yes, thank
Never,
you,
never ever.
thank you.
It's just always a part of your life. It's the band that you got into when you were emo as a teenager, and the one that you cannot let go of as an adult with mental issues. Um, it's kind of just like you understand the songs more as you get older, and now it just makes sense why he was singing about. Um, hold on, I have to pull up a Pierce the Veil lyric so I can
Which
actually quote
Do
this
it.
right.
which was the one? Which was I always forget the name. It's the one with the lead singer from A Day to Remember.
Oh, that's Paraphernalia.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
was like, I never remember that name, but yeah, and Misadventures as a whole, that album just fucking rips. That oh god,
Such a good
Pierce the Veil. Thank you,
album. Oh, I
Danny.
love
We're
this.
already good friends. I'm on with this.
But
We're good.
so basically the why they called me that is because I used to be, I guess I still am, but like I used to when I in 2019 I got famous on TikTok, and I guess I just went viral a couple of times for being black and emo, because there's not a lot of black alternative people in mainstream media. And like in 2019 it was a big year for us because we were just like kind of like embracing, like getting into like mainstream culture, and people were acknowledging us in our talent, our fashion, what we've done to the punk scene, etc.
Right.
And I was one of them. And so I had a really viral Twitter post. One of my mutuals posted me, and it went like, it had like 80,000 likes or whatever. And a lot of people IRL were messaging me and be like, "Oh my god, I saw you on Twitter." And I'm just like, "Yeah." And then people started calling me emo, and I was like, "All right, I guess I'll just, I
Run
guess
with
I'll
it.
just be me."
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's great. Love
I
it.
can totally tell the age gap here. Like, I'm listening to you guys, and I'm like, I feel like I went through that phase before it was cool, and then it became like really cool. Like, I'm serious because like growing up and being into like the bands that I was into, or like they're not even. I mean, to me, they're still important, but they're not the music that you guys listen to. And like being black and emo was not a thing. You were black and weird. Like when
Yeah, like
I
when I was young, my African mother was just like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" She's like, "That
Yeah, my
hurts."
dad was the same way. He's like, "What the fuck are you listening to?"
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Dad, it's My
she's like,
Chemical
"Turn that,
Romance."
yeah,
So
turn that
cool.
devil music off," and I'm just like, "No."
Oh, my
Uh,
dad never called it devil music. He was just like garbage.
my Christian brain was not
It's
fucking with
like-
it. So, but I kind of, the thing about having black parents is that they will eventually get over it.
yes.
Which is what I kind of forced my mom to get over. I was just like, this is just who I am, because they transitioned into high school and now my adulthood, and now I'm seeing like concerts and like full black.
Yeah.
And my mom's just like, "Where are you going?" And I'm just like, "I'm going to a concert." She's like that? And I'm like, "I'm an adult. I can do what I want now. Like, you
Yeah.
can't tell me no."
That's nice. I mean,
But
that's good
yeah.
that they're accepting though, because it's hard when they're not.
Yeah. I
And
think that like for anyone, and this is like something that I wanted to talk about and validate, like I think it's really important to have stories about disobeying your parents.
Yeah,
Be- because
I definitely went through that.
sometimes your parents just need to hear a no for them to understand. And like
Yeah.
especially as people of color, especially black people, like black
Yeah.
people saying no to our parents is kind of like the end of the world to them.
Yeah, it's
Um,
kind of taboo. Like you might not live afterwards.
Yeah, like they might kill you right then and there. But I think that my upbringing has really taught me everything I need to know, and that no one can tell me no. And anything I
good.
want, I will get it.
That's
So
good. That's
I'm
really,
living my
really
life
good.
like a white man.
Oh my god, so my roommate, she's not black. She's like Filipino and white, but like whenever I have imposter syndrome, she's like, "Girl, just go in there with that white guy energy. Like just go in there with it." And I'm just like, "I don't know how to be a white man. I can't do it." But one of the other things that we wanted to get onto is like we always kind of like ask each other what we've been up to. So, I know you just moved, right?
Yes, I moved into a home that is not mine. I don't have money. I like to preface that by saying I do not have money. I don't have enough money to buy a house. I wish I did, but I don't. My family and I just moved into a house. So that was great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's our first house. I've never lived in the house before.
Oh, well, then that's
Wow.
really awesome.
Congrats. That's
You.
incredible.
Yeah,
Because I
it's
know
crazy.
apartment living for a lot of people, because houses are like substantially expensive.
They
Oh
So,
yeah.
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
So now I'm going to ask everybody else what they've been up to. And I'll start with Darren. Darren, what have you
Whoa!
been up to?
Oh my god.
Just because you didn't move and you seemed like very intent. So I was like, let me wake you up.
I think my natural state of being is statue. So just
Statuesque.
not moving, immovable. No, I've been currently obsessed, as Matt tweeted out, with Psychonauts 2, which I'm playing for review. Unfortunately, life has gotten in the way, and I have not been able to finish it before embargo or before this podcast goes up, probably, which is the date it releases. But oh my god, I cannot think of doing anything other than playing that game. Like, I want this game injected into my veins at all hours of the day. Psychonauts
Okay.
1 was one of my favorite games of all time, and this game, I'm only like 2.5 levels deep, and it already feels like it's going to surpass the original, like, by quite a lot. um Absolutely, like, amazing characters, hilarious writing, beautiful art style that's somehow both like amazingly gorgeous and ugly in the best way possible. Like, all these characters have this like jank to them that makes them
Kind of
very
like
endearing.
Rugrats.
Yeah, like, kind of like Rugratsy, very like Tim Burton-esque, I'd say. And uh it's just got like this so much heart, and I don't know what else to say about it. I'm gonna have a hard time cutting my review down to below an hour long, just because I have so many feelings. I've been waiting for this game for like 15 years. It's been worth the
This is
wait. I
like the
love it so
most
much.
positive you've ever been about a game.
Right? Right?
It's
I-
weird. It's off-putting. I wasn't expecting it. He wants it injected into his veins. Like, okay.
That's why partially when I was like, let me try and get this review code for him, part of me was like, God, I hope I don't destroy someone's childhood when I'm doing this. Because if he doesn't like it, this is going to be bad.
I know.
I
have
heard
a
it was good as well.
You've got
Yeah.
it. Did you ever play the original, Danny?
I have not. I actually didn't know the game existed until like 2 months ago.
A lot of people did not.
Same.
You're not the only one. It's one of those
Same.
games that like everyone, I feel like everyone should play, but like no one's heard of it. And so yeah, no, it's just chef's kiss, like, beautiful. It's great.
Put a little salt on it. All right. So, Matt, what have you been up to?
Well, I started Psychonauts today, the first one on Xbox Game Pass. So I started streaming through my phone. I only played like maybe 15 minutes because I was just kind of like, let me see what this is all about.
Yeah.
Already seems interesting. I'll have much more to say about that next week. Ripped through 12 minutes. I really, really liked it for the most part. I think that it made me feel very smart, even though the story, Danny, I'm not one for puzzle games. Like, really, really, really not. So when a game makes me feel like I figured it out, I was like, okay, we already have a point. The ending, there's a lot of controversy on Twitter right now about it. While I don't think it was executed the best way possible, I do kind of see what it was going for, and I still like the game a lot. And our review's up on YouTube, so I'm not going to go on too long about it, but that game was super cool.
Did you find out if there was other
Destiny
endings,
and I,
or is it just the one ending?
there are other endings.
Are you talking about 12 minutes?
I am talking about 12 minutes.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
there are
god,
multiple
I heard about
endings.
that too. I
Yeah.
heard the tea. That ending is terrible.
Right, Danny,
It's-
you didn't hear all of that, did you? Because I was like, what game is he talking about?
Yeah, 12 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
12 minutes. All right.
Yeah, I without like trying to spoil anything, like, it makes me think of an older movie that I really like, which is kind of like why it's kind of like, all right, I can kind of see what they're going for, even though they don't really land it properly. The ride to get there is still, I think, worth it.
Okay.
And then Garden Story, which Destiny and I are working on a review for, which will have up very soon. That's another adorable little game. It's got a lot of really cool ideas, and it has adorable writing and a lot of cool stuff. Just that there are some dungeons. I have some issues with the dungeons and stuff, but we'll go into that on the review. But just get ready for that coming soon as well. What about you, Destiny?
What about me? Okay, so like Matt said, we've been playing Garden Story. I've also been binging a lot because I just haven't been feeling well. So I've been in bed binging a lot of animes. So I
Mhm.
finally binged Castlevania while I was doing my hair,
Oh,
and
what do
it
you
just
think of
made me want to go back and
Castlevania?
play the game. It made me want to go back and play the game, but like I had like this was like one of the things that I feel like I just personally thought was weird. Like I get that like they're in situations so they're going to curse, but I felt like all the cursing was in like a really weird place in the dialogue. Like it felt very forced. Like
Yeah.
every time they said something, I was like, I feel like you could have said that without adding the word fuck. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was just me, and I was just like, that was really weird because it just seemed like out of character for like some of them.
Well,
And
you
every
see
time
like
they cursed, it really
Victoria era characters, you don't really like picture them like swearing very much. So to see like
I think it
Dracula
was
drop an F bomb,
I think
it's
it
like,
was well,
good
he didn't
God.
really drop any F bombs. Like even like when he could have, like when they killed his fucking wife, like he could have gone on a tirade of like curse words, but he was like he kept it chill the whole time. But it was I think it was like Carmilla who was just like over the top, like fuck this, and I was fuck that, and I was just like chill, Carmilla, chill. Anyway, so watched that. I binged My Ordinary Life, which is like a different anime, which is absolutely hilarious. If you guys have ever seen the GIF or the meme of like this old man like suplexing a deer, I don't know if you've ever seen
Yes.
it.
I have
Yes, I
seen
It's
have.
that.
it's from that anime, which is
Oh man.
absolutely ridiculous but fun. So yeah, that's called My Ordinary Life, and I binged watched another anime called March Comes in the Lion, and it kind of reminded me of Queen's Gambit, but it was with a boy who played shogi, and shogi's kind of like the Japanese version of chess.
Right.
So that, and then I played a game called What the Fuck Is Wrong with You, and I will
Interesting.
be having that up soon. It's basically they're asking you a bunch of questions to see how fucked up you are. And
Oh boy.
so I played it, and I'm going to actually post it for one of these drops because it's such a weird game. And I think you guys will enjoy it. And sorry, my phone is ringing. I didn't think anybody would be calling me, but evidently I'm pretty popular today. So
That's
yeah.
okay. I really want to play a game called What the Fuck Is Wrong with You, but I'm terrified
Okay,
of
you
the
can't
answers.
play it. You can't play it until after I post my video, which will be coming up this week. And
Okay.
then you can go play it. It's like a
Okay.
dollar 99 on Steam. It's hilarious. But
Okay.
all right, that's all I've been up to. And let's jump right into what our main topic is today. Wait, did I forget something, Matt?
Games that matter.
Oh, games that matter. Sorry. Danny, can you tell us a game that matters to you? I always forget that one. I'm sorry.
All good.
Like if okay. One that like if you were going through something or depression, anxiety, something that like just really helped you get through a tough time. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm laughing because the answer I'm about to give is very stupid.
No,
Oh
please give
boy.
it.
Um, my depression game is Plants vs Zombies.
Oh my god. That's
Nice!
amazing.
That's fine.
Did not see that one coming.
I love me a simulator. I love a simulator. I love those games. Any simulator where I can just like put myself outside of this hellhole of a world is great. But like Plants vs Zombies is like my all-time favorite comfort game. I play the game probably like 3 times a year. In
Okay.
like 2 days because it's a very quick game to finish.
Yeah,
So
what do you think
why
it is
why
about?
Planet Go ahead. I feel like we were gonna ask the same
We
question. Go
were going
ahead,
to ask the
Darren.
exact same question. We're on the
We
same
were. Go ahead,
wavelength here,
Darren. No.
Destiny.
Go. Go.
Okay,
You
okay.
go.
What is it about Plants vs Zombie specifically compared to like other kinds of games like that?
I guess it's probably a game that I used to play a lot when I was younger. Like I don't know when the game came out. It probably came out like 2008. I used to play a lot. Like when it first came out on mobile, I used to play that game all the time. So I guess it just reminds me of when life was simple and I didn't have severe mental health issues. Um,
I get
and
that.
just adulthood, but I didn't have
Yeah.
to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh
No, I
man.
get that. A good way to escape is to go back to things that you liked in your childhood, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
Nostalgia's a
that's
powerful
good.
force, right? I mean, it can really bring you back to certain moments.
I know. I look back on my like youth with rose tinted glasses because I know it wasn't that great, but like I'll like sometimes I'll be like, damn, I wish I was like 12 again. I actually wanted to stop aging once I turned 15, just to be fair,
That would be
because I was
great
just like,
if you
I
could
see
just
where
pick a
this is
time.
going, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to deal with all that shit. Yeah, so but all right, I'm sorry, I totally skipped that question, but we got down to it.
Oh,
And
it's all
now we're going
good.
to jump into the topic of what Validate is. And please, Danny, tell us all about Validate. I mean, without too many spoilers. If you give some spoilers, that's okay too. Like, there might be spoilers, guys, but yeah, tell us what really like made you decide to make a dating game, because there's so many different games that you can make. And you yourself says you love simulators. So why a dating game and not a simulator?
Because dating games are easy. Like that's just the simple answer. Visual novels are like the easiest game to make, but
Mm-hmm.
also they're really expensive because art is expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Something people don't know. A little visual novel fact. The biggest budget in visual novels will definitely be the art.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I imagine just the amount of different characters and how intricate the designs are and the different emotions and everything. That must be a
Yeah.
lot.
Poses and sets and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
glad I
no.
know that.
Sorry.
I have an artist who works for free because he
Yeah.
loves me. So
It's crazy. We're working. If I didn't like trust, like if my artists, like my team did not trust us, we're all working for free right now because, um, $46,000 isn't a lot of money to pay 21 people for like 2 years
yeah,
of work.
no, absolutely,
Um,
absolutely.
so we're all working for free right now, and if they didn't trust me, they would not be doing this. I'm to be honest. Like if Validate wasn't as big as it was, I don't think that I would like be able to get all of this work done for free because none of us are getting paid.
Hmm.
Um, so basically, Validate is a story about 13 struggling singles, and in a fictional Jersey city. It's called Jersey because we're not trying to get sued by the city of Jersey.
Jersey. It's great.
It's yeah, it's literally there's no S and E. It's just Jercy.
Yeah.
No, CREL. I don't know how to spell. Whatever. And but basically, it's just like um, them trying to find love, friendship, figure out their sexuality, gender, etc. And like that is like I feel like it's a very boring story if you don't think about it. If you think about it from a white lens, if you think about these characters and they're all white, that's boring. You've seen that before. But like we want it to be different and have all people of color minus the Italian because we don't talk about him. But we wanted a story that's like all people of color and in stories and situations that we typically don't see them in. So we wanted to have like stories about like our like people of color figuring out their sexuality, people of color figuring out their gender identity, figuring out like if they actually want to date, if they want to have kids, etc. Like these kind of stories are often not told because people of color are never put in stories, and then when we are, it's typically a fantasy setting, and like I don't have any beef with fantasy whatsoever. Like fantasy, sci-fi, it's cool, but it's not really my genre. I'm more of a realistic type person when it comes to like my story writing,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
um, because I feel like there's still like rom coms and all these stories, like all these movies, they exist. They're all realism, but there's still a need for realism with people of color, and like we're seeing that as like years go on with shows like Blackish and Mixish and Grownish. That's too many.
oh my god,
That's too many.
yeah. I was so upset because I was like, y'all can't think of any other names. You just add an ish
Now that I
to the
say it
end of
out loud, I'm just
everything.
like, hold on.
Yeah, I was just like, come on. But
But my biggest show inspiration for Validate is definitely Insecure. I love Issa
yo,
Rae.
Insecure is amazing. Did you ever
I
watch Awkward Black Girl, her YouTube series?
yes,
Yes,
I
girl.
love Issa Rae. Like
Issa is doing some shit. I'm sorry, I keep
then
cutting
she
you off. I
got
got
married and she
excited.
didn't tell anyone.
Oh
What
my
a
god,
queen.
did you see how beautiful she looked at her wedding?
What a queen. She
Whoa,
never
oh my
posted her man until
God.
she married him. She is onto something. We all need to
Yes,
take notes.
she sure
Um,
did. Don't post him until he put a ring on it.
Literally.
I agree.
She's so right. But I saw Insecure, and I was just like, this is a show. This is the work of art I want to make. Insecure made me feel a way that I have never felt before when I was creating, when I was consuming media. Like I actually saw myself in Issa and the way that she like handled some situations, how she was awkward, how she didn't know she should text his man,
Right.
etc. So I was just like, hey, I can do this myself in games. So I did. Another reason why I made Validate is because I've been gaming all my life, as I said previously. But a game I was very into in 2016 is called Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
Is it a good game? No.
No.
But
Is it a good game? Sometimes, maybe. We'll think about it. But
we'll think about it. It depends on the day.
I like the diversity that they try to put into Overwatch, though.
Yes, but yes, that was my thing. The diversity in Overwatch never seemed genuine. Even when I was like younger and I was playing games, I wasn't playing games to like make games. I was playing games to play games. So like when you play games to play games, you don't play games to make games. You don't see it in the same way.
Right.
You definitely don't see like their stylistic choices, game design. Like as I am playing games now, I'm just like, all right, this is a really shitty mechanic, and it should have been done way better. Or this art asset doesn't really fit here. I think they should have done this. Like I'm more critical now. I guess it's kind of like an example is like if you're a chef and then you go to restaurants, you know that the food will never be as good as the food that you make at home.
Right.
Because you went to culinary school, you know all of it, and like you're just like, oh, this fettuccine alfredo is great, but it could be better. I have a tab that's like making way too much noise. It's distracting me.
No, it's okay.
So basically, I just saw all these games and all these medias doing everything that I want to see, and I was like, wait, no one's gonna do this for me. Let me do it myself. So I did.
yeah, that's such an
really
amazing
good. I mean,
attitude.
to just go out there and like make what you want to make, I think that's incredible.
Yeah, it's tough when you have no money. I wish I was a white guy with equity
Girl,
and rich parents.
Me
so
and you both.
Oh God.
Me and you both. I mean, like, I don't wish I was a white guy.
I don't wish I was white. I'm my worst enemy. I'm sorry.
I just wish that like I had the basically the resources that are available to white men. You know what I mean? And we've had those kind of discussions before where we've had other people on, and like I've said, like Matt basically like whatever door he walks through, I'm gonna like jump skip right behind him through the door because I mean like, and it's crazy because like I get what you're saying about Insecure and like seeing something that was so relatable to you, because growing up before like, because I'm just a tiny bit older than you, not a lot, probably like 6 months or something like that. But when I was growing up, there wasn't diversity in games. Do you know what I mean? Like if you wanted to play a diverse game, you had to play a game with like animal characters, and then you could kind of pretend. Yeah. But and I'm before Bratz. Okay, I'm when Barbie came out, when Barbie had their game. And like
I was both. Like I played Bratz Forever Diamonds on a PS2, and that's the one game I think they should bring back. I'm not really for bringing back old series because I think that there's a lot of opportunities for new IPs, but I want to play that game so bad on the Switch.
Aww.
Oh my
God. And seeing the first thing you probably did was like, okay, so for example, in every game that I play that I can create my own character, they're always black. Mm-hmm. Like I always make like a black character or like a dark skinned character because I just don't feel like there's enough of them in gaming media, like in general. So I always get super hyped. Like when we were at E3 and PAX and watching those, and like Homegirl came out with her afro, I was just like, oh my God, it's so glorious. It's so beautiful. Like they really did it up. But I love that your game is not just focused on Black people, but people of color in general. And I think that's really important too. Because I just think across the board, POCs aren't featured enough in media unless it's kind of like stereotypical. So like even though I appreciate shows like Blackish, Grownish, Mixish,
I don't. I'm gonna
I
say it, but I
no,
don't.
it's okay because I like the fact that people are pushing things out there because we have to do baby steps, right?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
not
So
not only
I feel
that,
like
but
those are
validates also representing the full like gender sexuality spectrum as well. Like you've got so many
yeah, I
levels
was
of
going to get
representation in
there,
there. I'm so sorry.
but you got there before no, it's okay. But no, 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 don't. No, it's fine. It's fine. But like yeah, I think it takes baby steps, right? And I think within the game industry, we have indie game companies that are really pushing that. They're not taking baby steps. They're just going for it. And I think that's great because I think that's what Validate is really doing. Like it's just the whole spectrum of things that are overwhelmingly underrated in the gaming community. So even though it's a dating game, it's like I think it will appeal to a lot of people. Almost the way, what was it? The dating game for daddies?
Dream Daddy.
Dream
Dream
Yeah,
Daddy.
Daddy.
Dream Daddy. I didn't personally play it, but I supported the idea of them putting that out there because I was like, how many games? I think they're the only game that I've ever heard of that's like made it that big, especially within the US, that was focused on gay men and their relationships. And I thought
Yeah.
that was
Mhm.
incredible because I never would have thought to do that. I'm not a gay man as well, so that's probably why. But I just, I could see the genuine um, feelings that went into making that game. And I think indies are doing that. And I think you're doing that. And I think that's amazing because you're giving it from your perspective, but you also work with 20 other people?
Yeah. We have a big team. I think that we're getting away with having such a big team because in indie, a lot of people are doing like so. Indie teams are typically smaller because a lot of the people on the team are doing the same things, like multiple roles. Like
Right.
if it was like
Mhm.
all of us, I would be doing writing, programming, and art, and like you guys would be doing other roles. But like
Mhm.
with our team, we don't have people doing everything. And honestly, I kind of like it this way because less stress. No one's working on this full time. And Validate started as a passion project and it evolved from that, but we still treat it as a passion project. Like we are still
Right.
having fun making this game. Um, because I understand like a lot with a lot of like game studios and all the news that's been happening, I want to make sure that my studio and like people I'm working with are like, safe, they're
Mhm.
happy, they're not like, being harassed, etc. But we're pretty chill. Um, I think the reason why I'm getting away with it is because most of the people on the team were former friends of mine before we started working together.
Mm.
Um, I love them dearly, very much, but I would never do this again. Um,
It's hard to work with friends
it's so
sometimes.
hard.
Yeah, because you have to like kind of concede and places where you wouldn't usually concede with someone who was just employed by you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. I've definitely had to do that sometimes with the people I work with. Like you want to get mad and you do get mad sometimes, but like you're also like, I'm also not paying them. So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's been a really big issue for me. Like finding the balance of like, can I actually get mad about this if I'm not paying you yet? Like, do I have to save all this anger for when the money starts coming in, or do I like just let it out, some of it out now and then just like the rest later? Because I'm very much like one of those people where I'm just like, absolutely do not fuck with me.
Yeah.
And that's just like because of my upbringing. I grew up a tall girl. I've been like 6'1" since I was 12. Um, and it's just like I kind of had to build a shell where I'm just like, all right, like you will not speak to me this way, and I will not allow you to speak to me this way, or treat me this way, because that's a very common thing. And no matter where I go, especially in games, people talk to you anyhow, and I just have to like remind people that like you can't disrespect me.
Right?
I will
Mhm.
literally hurt your feelings.
And that's so sad that you have to do that. But I mean, just I feel like just as like not only just being a woman, but like a woman of color, like you definitely have to stand up for yourself in a different way than a lot of other people. One of the questions I wanted to get to is the fact that you brought in a lot of different sexualities and you yourself are non-binary. I'm not going to ask you what your sexual preference is, but I want to know like what was that driving force? Like, did you research it? Did you talk to other people who like are, they're they were more expressive with what type of sexuality they were with, or did you just kind of base it off of the things that you knew and put that into the game? Like, how did you make that relatable for somebody, let's say, who is non-binary, or someone who is a gay male? Like, how did you go about researching that for your game?
So I've been non-binary since 2014, 2013, something like that. It's been a while. So I've always hung around gay people. That sounds crazy.
No, it's fine.
I just most of my friends are queer, um, online and offline. So a lot of the people in Validate were based off my friends and Haven's friends. Haven is a co-creator of Validate. He also helped me create half these characters. They're just based off people we know.
Okay.
So when I gave these characters to our writers, I was just like, you probably know someone who has this identity. Just talk to them, get to know their experience, etc. We do a lot of research when it comes to our characters. Like when we were creating our characters, I like was just doing research for days, making sure we had accurate last names, hometowns, etc. Because like one thing about diversity and that Overwatch fails in because they're a corporation and they actually don't care about diversity and like I'm not saying that like it's bad. I mean, sorry, not caring about diversity
it's
is bad.
bad.
It is bad. I'm not saying that Blizzard is bad. I am, but I'm just saying that they create diversity to profit off of, and not because they care.
Yeah.
And I think that creating with care is like so important.
Yes.
Because when you show that you care about the things that you are doing, especially when it comes to diversity, people notice.
Yeah, they do. Just like I was talking about, just changing a main character ethnicity just to change it really fucking gets under my skin, but that's for another show. But that's yes, exactly. Just throwing in like people of color in a game just to like change up your color palette of your game is really shitty, and you can tell when someone who's not done any research has just put in let's say like a Native American just to put in a Native American, but you know what I mean? Everything about that character is super stereotypical. It's like very surface level. So I'm really excited that you've actually taken the time to do the research for your characters. It makes me want to play each and every character just to see like how they react to things and how they are in their society and how they have to deal with it, because coming out as gay as a black male is a lot different than coming out as gay as a white male. Do you know what I mean? Just how society sees you and how your culture sees you. So I think that's really great that you've done all that research. I'm excited.
Thank you. I didn't want to be like Overwatch by having a Brazilian character with an entire backstory from Canada. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Why the fuck does he play hockey? He's literally from Brazil. He's literally from Brazil. What?
Yeah, it does seem, especially with like Overwatch, that they kind of just add things on after. They kind of like retroactively make the characters work in a way that they want it to, rather than it being the character from the beginning. And I think that's something that like, especially like on your Kickstarter page, like you have the list of all your characters with like the different with their names and their pronouns and kind of, you know, what their jobs are and stuff. And I think that's something that's really cool to give them this kind of like, it's a dating game, it's a dating profile almost, like, but you can almost kind of feel a little bit of their personalities just coming through even in that little blurb. How difficult was writing like this many characters? Like, I mean, there's 13, right? How difficult was it writing this many characters in giving them each a unique voice without making them sound like each other? Because like there's so much going on here in the best way possible. What was the writing process like?
So we have 7 writers.
Oh, nice. That's a lot.
Yeah, which is another reason. If I ever did a game this big, I would definitely not have as many characters. Right. I definitely set myself up that way. Having 13 main characters, like playable characters, is a little obsessive. Sure, we split our game into 3 parts plus DLC, but that's still a lot. But we have 13 characters, 7 writers. I write 2. Aisha writes 2. Kevin writes 2. So like some of us write 2 characters each. So you will never have like 2 of the same characters have the same voice, because the 2 characters that we write, that like each writer is set to write, are complete opposites. Like for myself, I write Yolanda and I write Malik. Malik is a Sagittarius. man. He's a light skinned Sagittarius man. And Yolanda is a Pisces poetry bitch. So like they're two completely different characters. So like that's how we made sure that they all have their own unique voice, because what I've noticed when I was doing my research for Validate is a lot of games, the playable characters or the characters that you get to date are all the same character.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks. Like a lot of Automon games, I don't think I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. A lot of games that you just romance yaoi boys. No, that is not right. Hold on. A lot of romanceable visual novels.
Yeah.
The characters that you are able to romance. I could not figure out how to say it. A lot of characters that you romance are the same character, just in different games. I like to call it the Miles Edgeworth approach. It's just an emo character who's like, no, there's two characters. It's either one that's just like, get away from me, you're so gross. And they're like, and then like a week passes, they're like, I'm madly in love with you. Let's get married tomorrow. And then,
oh my god.
And then you have the obsessive character who's just like, I love you, let's get married today. And then you're like, ew, you're kind of gross. And then you actually fall for them later. Those are the two type of characters you see in visual novels when it comes to romance.
I always date the one who doesn't want me.
That too. The one who doesn't want you.
The one who absolutely wants nothing to do with you. I always date them because it's a challenge.
Yeah, so many times you tried to date, what was that demon guy in Monster Prom?
Yeah, the demon guy.
Oh my god, in Monster Prom?
Yeah.
I wouldn't date anybody else until I got him. I think I had to play it like 3 times.
Yeah, Monster Prom is a fun game.
It is fun, but I was pissed off. I was like, what do you mean you don't fucking like me? I've done everything. So I had to do it like 3 times. Because like by the end, he was like, yeah, I'm not interested in you. I was mad. But yeah, I always go after the guy who doesn't want me. Like he's like, he's always the kind of like in the anime, he's always kind of like the tall, dark, kind of mysterious, like obviously he's had a fucked up past and he's definitely dealing with a lot of mental issues, and I'm like, yes, he's the one.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But yeah, I think that was a big thing. And also like if they end up if they do end up being similar, we will catch it, because we're gonna have like 1,000 people play test this game before it comes out. Because if someone says that I'm emotionally manipulating players, I will never be online again. I will log off the rest of my life.
No. If somebody gets manipulated through the game, that's their own fault.
That's their fault. Just turn off the game. Just turn it off.
Game. Ugh, I can't stand that.
Oh god, it's crazy.
No, just make your game and let people enjoy it. And if people don't enjoy it, then don't fucking play it. Like that's just how I feel about it. If it's not the game for you, go play something different. Go play one of those
things to do with your life other than like obsess over
Japanese
a game that you don't like.
Yeah, where the girl looks the same in every one of them, and the plots are all the same. It's always 2 guys after 1 girl. I can't stand that. It's like in everything. Oh my god. Okay, so random tangent. Sorry, Darren. I have to do this. So I was playing this game, and it was like this dating romance, and like I used to have this problem where I couldn't date more than 1 person at one time. Like even in a video game, I felt like I was cheating. And so like my friend was like, dude, it's fine. Just like date another character. So I went to start another story. And then the guy that I originally played the character with, I don't know how he knew. I don't know if it was set up like that, but he was definitely pissed off at me. And like in the new storyline. And I was like, oh my fucking God, he knows. And so I couldn't do it. So I can only date 1 person at a time. And then even after I complete the game, I couldn't go back and play other characters because I felt like it was a betrayal to the main character that I had romanced. I've gotten over that now. It was some Japanese game. Like it was like there were like 7 demon boys or something in the house, and I ended up living with them for some odd reason. Like I like died and they like brought me back, or they were gonna kill me. I don't know what it was, but I ended up dating Shiro, who fucking hated me, and he like so mean to me, but I just loved it because sometimes he was nice, but like most of the time he was a dickhead. That was my relationship. Anyways, sorry, just because this is when I was researching, because I really did want to create my own dating visual novel, which I might one day, but like I have all the art and all that stuff and the story for it, but I just hate scripting. Like I can't do it. And we've tried to like hire scripters before and it just didn't work out. So um, I always wanted to create one because all of the ones I played were always either Asian girls or Asian girls who looked white was the main character. So I never felt like it was actually me playing, like going through the story. So the reason why I wanted to create one is so that because you guys know I love character creation, I wanted to give people a chance to create themselves in the love story and actually put themselves in the love story. And then I had, I think, 5 different stories that you could go with based on parallel universes and shit like that. It was crazy. It is crazy. It's gonna happen one day when I have enough money. But anyways, yeah. So I'm really excited about Validate because I feel like I can play different ethnicities, but my whole thing was I wanted to play myself in these romances. So that's kind of what I want to do with my game is so you can create yourself and put yourself in this game and fall in love in a weird place like Mars. Who knows?
So, Danny, something that I was curious about, why did you end up with Kickstarter? I remember like you talked a little bit about it at the Black Voices Gaming event with the Guerrilla Collective, but how like why did you end up with Kickstarter?
What
Like
you
was
mean,
that a choice?
like
Yeah, like was it a choice? Like or like were you like from the beginning were like I want to go to Kickstarter, I want to do this my way, or were you think about going to different publishers and stuff? How did that come about?
when I did our Kickstarter, I didn't know anything about games. Um, I just thought that we make this money, we pay our team, and we keep doing it. And then like I was
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe we should have a publisher to make my life a lot easier. And then I was like, actually, fuck these publishers. Sorry, I didn't say that.
No, you
Um,
did. It's okay. Some publishers are shit.
no, for
I
real.
was gonna say like Kickstarter's not a publisher though.
Yeah, no,
Is
Kickstarter is
not.
not a
Yeah.
publisher. Kickstarter is a
Mm-hmm.
crowdfunding source.
Yeah.
But I actually don't regret doing our Kickstarter because that's how we made our core following.
Mm-hmm.
Like our day one fans who still support us a year later, like over a year later, um, they like they're dedicated. They love everything we put out. We have not disappointed them yet. It's really grown us that people saw that you can have a game or any kind of media that is just like primarily people, darker skinned people of color
Mm-hmm.
in the front, and it will still get funded. Um, I kind of just we just did Kickstarter because like it was like our only option at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that Kickstarter can be good for exposure, especially if your Kickstarter blows up the way ours did, because our Kickstarter blew the fuck up. Oh my god, it blew up! It blew up to the point that a famous right wing YouTuber made a video, and it has a
Oh
million
no.
views on YouTube. I'm not saying his name because he can honestly
No,
go to
don't
hell. He can honestly go
fuck
to
that
hell.
guy. Yeah.
Honestly, go to hell. But it was crazy. I've never had that much support for my work. 1,600 people backing our work, giving us all that money. It was
That's
crazy.
That
amazing.
is
And
amazing.
congratulations on that. What I
Thank
was going
It's
to
you.
incredible.
say to Matt is like most indie games actually pick Kickstarter just because it is one of the most well known crowd sourcing platforms out there. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, just in general, I think a lot of them, because even when we did our game, we did Kickstarter. We didn't even, I don't think we even made our goal the first time. But I like Kickstarter just because like they're open to like so many indie games and they'll help you
Mm-hmm.
like kind of push your information out there and kind of
Mm-hmm.
guide you through it. So you guys should, if you guys do another Kickstarter, like you'd probably get even more backing now just because like you have a playable demo out there and like it probably will help you to like get more money. And I know it takes a lot of work to start and run a Kickstarter, but I believe in your game and I definitely think if like you need more money for it that you should do it.
Yeah, most people have told me that, and just crowdfunding is a lot.
It is. It is a lot, but you're making a game and you're making a game that's important to people.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I just rather get a grant from someone than having to
Yeah.
crowdfund
Yeah, I get that. Is that
because
easier? Do you think that's easier to get a grant for your game versus crowdsourcing?
yes, because at the end of the day, after crowdsourcing, you owe people things.
Mm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
like you owe a lot of people stickers and stuff like that, which is coming, obviously. Like we're
Mhm.
gonna give it to them eventually one of these days. Um, I'm just waiting for COVID to end because getting merch right now is a nightmare because of COVID.
Yeah.
Especially last year when we did our Kickstarter. Oh my god, you could not get anything. It took months to get like a shirt because
Yeah.
like they shut down everything.
US
But
Postal Service is shit.
oh god, don't. It's not even their fault. It's fucking United States. Anyways, but I yeah, like you said, Kickstarter is good for indies. I recommend anyone who is doing indie to do Kickstarter, but like make sure that you have a
The
following
resources and the following. Yeah.
before you do it. Like do not just launch a crowd like a whole Kickstarter campaign and expect it to get funded. Um, what made us different is that we had a following before we started our Kickstarter. We had like a good 2,000, 3,000 followers before we started, and by the end of our Kickstarter, we had like 8,000. Um, like we had our audience. We had people who were just like, when is this happening? When can we throw money at you?
Mhm.
And I think I'm seeing a lot with a lot of Kickstarters that are happening right now is people are like not advertising them or not having an audience. Like you can't run a Kickstarter campaign if you have 10 followers on Twitter. It's just not gonna get
Right.
funded.
You
I'm
have
not
to
even,
really push it.
yeah, and I'm not
Yeah.
saying that to be mean or anything. I'm just saying that like we just need to be honest, like with ourselves. Like we need to know what our expectations are, how much money we should be asking for. Just be realistic because I feel like a lot of people who see like these success stories like mine and think they could happen to them. But I just got lucky. Like I literally tell people who ask me how I did it, I got lucky. Um, a lot of people can try to do exactly what I did and don't have the same success. I got lucky because I already knew people. I have a really big team of everyone who already knows people. I'm very charismatic. I don't know how to say that word. But when I had GDOC last year, that's kind of how I met everyone. Like that's how our game blew up. That's how like they started paying attention to our game, um, etc. Like it's just like
Well, that's not
be
luck
realistic.
though. You've been working. Do you know what I mean? Like you've been networking, you've been making the connection. So it's not just about luck. Like you've been putting in the effort whether you realize it or not. All of that is what it takes to like get your name out there, get the people to notice you, and you've been doing that. And I wanted to ask you like how did you grow your following? Was it just you networking and your friends networking? Like how did that happen?
The following on my personal Twitter or the validated account.
Just in general.
Um,
Like
on my personal on my personal Twitter, that is no longer existent as of right now. I hope I get it back next week. I got that
did you
follow.
do something?
No, I got DMCA because Twitter fucking sucks.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Like they're DMCA blue check, so I probably think they're gonna do something about it next couple months. But I digress. Um, I got my following my on my personal account because I love tweeting things that go viral every fucking day. Every day I have a viral tweet. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Every day I have people trying to argue with me. Every day I have people telling me their life stories. Never stops. But with Validate, um, I think it was just word of mouth, us posting very gay things, and people like, "Whoa, hold on, what is this?" People with very big accounts, like industry people, like very famous Twitch streamers, being like, "Hey, I'm gonna play this game. I love this game." It really is just like our fans. Like I haven't had to pay for a single ad, and I'm very grateful. It's just our
That's
fans
amazing.
spreading the words, Twitch streamers, everyone just spreading the word because people saw me and saw that like my story of not like getting published and like no one like giving us funding, and they said, all right, we're gonna do everything we can to help you out. And I'm really grateful for that because like having so many people who have my back is really assuring because when I have my anxiety about validate, my once a day anxiety, I just have to remember and look at my Twitter and just be like, all right, all these people are supporting me, let me calm the fuck down.
And that's
I
because you're
think
creating something great.
And I think part of that too is that like what you're making, so many people, like Destiny was saying, like so many people see themselves in it. And I think what you're doing is like, and no hate to plenty of other games, but like it's not just another roguelike, it's not just another anything. It's a game that people are connecting to and feel themselves in, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I feel like when you're doing something like that, like you said, luck is always a part of it, but what you the amount of work that you put in and you're making something that people genuinely care about, that's it's incredible. Like the stuff that you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm
It's
excited to
crazy.
play it.
Thank you. I don't know. I just think about it. I'm just like, it's crazy. Like a year ago, I was literally working. Where did I work a year ago? I worked at IHOP right before I started producing Validate, like the concept of it. And now a year later, I'm working on this game pretty much full time. Hopefully, it starts paying my bills soon, and it's gonna come out in less than a year. And like, and I'm thinking like in a year later, like the game's gonna be out this time next year. Um, and just like what will my life be like every year my life keeps changing. Sorry, I wouldn't say every year, every couple months, like every 6 months my life is in a different place than it was 6 months ago. 6 months ago we weren't even developing Validate, we were on break because you're still trying to find a publisher, and now like we're developing Validate, like we're about to release some gameplay footage in next month for GDOC. um, it's crazy how fast life comes at you.
It is. It is. And I mean, I'm glad it's all good things right now for you. Like, especially with Validate. Like, we completely support you and what you're trying to do here, and that's why we wanted to have you on the show. So I was like willing to reschedule whenever you wanted to come on, because I know we had like scheduling conflicts for a while, and I was
Thank
like,
you.
no, we have to get
Yeah.
her on the show.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for coming on and telling us more about Validate and telling our listeners about Validate, because I feel like we're trying to grow our crowd, but not viewership, but I guess we're trying to grow our people,
Our
just in
community.
general. And our community. Thank you. I could not think of that fucking word to save my life. Trying to grow our community, and we want to be as inclusive, like we want to show as much diversity, and we just want to show as much support as we can to games like this moving forward. So I just had a brain fart. This keeps happening to me. It happened last time. But
Keep making cool
yeah,
shit.
it's
It's
gone.
important.
Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
making
Yeah.
cool shit. It's really important. And thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
making this game, because I'm not dating right now. But I feel
But
like
you
maybe no, I have decided to like after
no.
playing your boyfriend, I'm putting that indefinitely on hold.
You might not be dating, but you will be validating.
I will be
Ooh.
validating. Oh, that was good. That was good.
Thank you.
But I will be validating. So, I don't know what character I want to play yet, though. I mean, I'm going to eventually play them all, but I'll probably play the Black Girl
I mean,
first. I'm not going to lie.
for the first volume, you only have 4 choices.
I'm waiting till the whole game comes out. That's how
That's
I
gonna be
am.
a couple years. I don't know if
That's
you're gonna wait that
okay.
long.
I'm the same way with like I know that's weird, but I'm the same way with series. Like I won't watch the series until it's completed, and then I'll
No,
just binge the entire series. That's
I
how I
get
am.
that. I did it with seasons. I don't know about the whole series, but
I can't do it. I
but
hate cliffhangers. Like it really irritates
oh
me.
my god, that look. Sorry, I was gonna start talking about Marvel. Let's not do that because they got me.
That that's a
fucked
huge
up.
rabbit hole to go down.
But yeah, I do it for the people. I honestly, like at this point, I do it out of spite, and I do it for the people. Every time I see people seeing a character and be like, "Oh my god, I've never seen this character in a game before," I'm just like, "Yeah, that's why I do it." I'm also doing it purely out of spite, because after the hate train that we got, and people were like, "Your game is never going to come out." It has to come out just because so I can prove a point.
Yeah,
Hell
no, I
yeah.
get that. I wouldn't even say out of spite. Like you're doing it because they said it couldn't be done.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And
like,
you're doing it. Like
mhm.
it's coming out. So fuck them. Fuck you guys. I hope you listen to this. Fuck you. And the
No,
guy who like said shit about you. Fuck you too.
like
Yeah.
Whoever
no,
that is.
for real. Like I want the ballet to come out. I want to set an example. Like that is the reason why I made ballet. I want to set an example for this industry. You can make a game like this with this many people of color and still be successful. Because I'm
Yeah.
so tired of seeing white characters. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. I think that there's too many. I
There
don't
are
think
a
like there's not
lot.
a
There are
there's
too
not
many.
There are a
there's
lot.
not enough. It's not this. The thing is that it's not enough. There's not too little people of color. There's too many white characters.
Video games
Like,
right
that's the
now do
issue.
not
I
represent
will.
how the world really is.
Yes.
Well, neither does Hollywood really.
Yes.
So I totally agree with you. We need just more diversity overall. I
Mhm.
got in a huge argument with somebody about that. Like, okay, quick tangent, and then we're going to go to the news. So I was saying there was the I'm sorry I do this. So there was the latest episode of What If, and it was with Chadwick Boseman did the voice for it, and he signed up for it, and I was just like, you know what, like I haven't seen it yet. I'm not ready. Right. So that's just because like I was so hurt when he passed away.
I
Like
can't.
I
Oh my
can't.
god! Don't even get me started because
Okay, I won't.
the day that I don't even know when the day that he passed away, but I know it's coming up soon. And I'm gonna have to log off because I saw the what if thing and I started tearing up. I was like,
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. So I was having a conversation with someone, I won't say names, and I was just like, yeah, he's just an amazing actor, blah, blah, blah. And then that person said, oh, yeah, he's okay, which immediately pissed me off because I was just like, after I say I can't watch this because he passed away and it makes me emotional, the wrong response to say to that is, he's all right. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
I have feelings about this, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So me being who I am, and Matt and Darren already know me, I was like, the fuck is that supposed to mean? Right? Like, why would you say that?
Mhm.
And so it turned into this black and white thing where I only felt this way because Chadwick was black. And I was like, no, I think he's a great actor. And so then it came up, well, what's a white actor that's passed away that like you feel this way? And you know
Oh
what?
my
Robin
God.
Williams.
I
I
was
have
about to
not
say
seen
Robin
Mhm.
Williams.
I have not
Yep.
seen a film with Robin Williams in it since he passed away. I haven't
Can't
seen
do
it.
it.
And I know it's
Yeah.
been like years, but I just can't do it.
Mhm.
And so the thing is that like I get tired of having this conversation, and I don't really have it with white women, but I have it a lot with white men where I feel I have to defend how I feel about things. And
Mhm.
that is because Hollywood just does not represent people of color enough in general. The fact that I can say I feel bad about this actor dying because I thought he was great, and you immediately assume that the only reason I think he's great is because he's black is a problem. It's
Yeah.
not just your problem, it's a problem
Mhm.
in the entire system,
Mhm.
right? So that was my tangent. I hope he listens to this. But anyways, I just want to say that like you're absolutely right. What you're doing is amazing. It's the whole reason why I wanted to get into animation and 3D in the first place is because I wanted to see more of us up on the big screen. I
Mhm.
wanted to see because when I grew up, the only person I could relate to were side characters of main white characters in cartoons and movies and things like the best friend, like Shauna and Jim and the holograms who didn't really have much of a story, or like the little like chocolate, whatever flavor that was in strawberry shortcake, the little black girl there. Like there just wasn't a lot growing up in the 80s. And I feel like now's the time that we need to represent all of us. There needs to be more Native Americans starring in their own films. There needs to be more Asian Americans. There need to be more Black Americans. There need to be more Mexicans. There need just over the board, and not just race, but also sexuality is very important in our society. Sexuality has always been important just across the globe. Why we always decided to push forth the whole straight agenda and not really focus on other parts of things, I don't know. Maybe the religion came into it,
Religion. Yeah.
Yeah.
but we're changing and it's for the better. And I think that that's important because we have children growing up today who will no longer have to deal with some of the things that we had to deal with growing up with facing your own sexuality. And I mean, there will always be racist people, there'll always be bigots, there'll always be just people who are negative, but there's a bigger community and it continues to grow that's more accepting. And I think that's really important. And so your game is a part of that. And just imagine there'll be like, I don't know how PG or rated R your game is, but you can have like little girls or little boys or whatever who want to play a dating game, and they can play it and they can see themselves in it and feel like they're being represented. And I think that's really, really important. So thank you. I don't know how to say it enough. I know I said I'm going to wait until the game comes out, but then you said it's going to be years. I don't know if I can wait years, but thank you. And please continue to do what you're doing after this game. Don't stop. Keep running because
Mhm.
you're doing it despite not having people like wanting to publish you. You're self-publishing. You did your Kickstarter. You built, and not just you, your entire team has been amazing in creating these characters. So please forward our thank yous to them as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's awesome. Hearing that because sometimes I be emo and
I
I
get
need
it, girl. It's hard.
I need
Society makes you question yourself, but you're doing great things. You really are. So please don't stop. And with that, let's jump over into some news. And I'm going to throw it over to Matt because he's basically the news guy for our
Yeah.
podcast.
All right. Let's talk a little bit news before we close out. We're going to be starting with a story from Eurogamer written by Wesley Yin-Poole. Halo Infinite won't have campaign co-op or Forge at launch. Wesley writes, Halo Infinite won't have campaign co-op or Forge at launch, developer 343 has announced. The two much-loved modes of play have been delayed. Campaign co-op won't hit the shooter until Season 2 at the earliest, which means about 3 months after launch. Forge will hit about not until Season 3 at the earliest, or at least 6 months after launch. I wanted to bring this up because I don't really see any problem with this game being delayed, but I do think that there's a very vocal fan base online who only plays Halo in co-op, which is the biggest thing. Forge, I think, expecting it out of the bag, especially given the current climate of the world, is a bit much. That's fine. Forge can come later, but I see there's a lot of disappointment about co-op being there for the campaign because people are worried about spoilers. People, have siblings, parents, brothers, or friends or whoever that they play the co-op with, the campaign with right from the jump. So it's a bit disappointing. Darren, I know you are quite the Halo fan. How do you feel about co-op not being there from the beginning?
Well, I mean, I would disagree. I think Forge not being there from the beginning is actually a big deal because I mean, Forge has never missed launch for any Halo game that it's been included. Like, if you're not including Forge and you're not including co-op, you're basically saying that Halo's not coming out this year. Like, I feel like those are such integral parts to the game that like this game's been in development for like 7 years now or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm from what I've heard from the beta, I haven't played it. The multiplayer is really, really good. So like that's great. Like I believe that the game itself will be good, but like yeah, I'm super disappointed. Like I played co-op through all the campaigns with my brothers. So like I'll be like really disappointed if I can't do that again.
So, Destiny, do you think that they should maybe delay just the campaign? The multiplayer is going to be free anyway, right? They've already announced that the Halo multiplayer is going to be free. Do you think they should delay the campaign to next year when people can experience it together, and just drop the multiplayer this year, or delay the whole thing, leave it as is? What do you think?
I think I'm a little confused. Like, what's the major difference between co-op and multiplayer for this game?
So, multiplayer is everybody jumps online, they shoot each other.
Yeah,
There's
no,
no story.
I
There's
know what
nothing.
multiplayer is, but like, is co-op
Yeah.
you go through the story together?
Yes.
Is that what
Yeah.
that is?
Yes. And like it's always been like a pretty definitive part of Halo for you to experience the story with somebody else. Else? I don't know what the fuck happened there. So what do you think?
Okay, so I don't like Halo personally, but that's for like personal reasons, and I'm just not into FPS. But I think I would agree with Darren. If the game is known to have that, and all of a sudden they don't have it, that's a little weird, right? Like if every other version of the game had co-op, and that's one of the main things it's known for, like why would it not have it? So I think they should just delay it, honestly. If that's one of the main things that people are looking forward to and you don't have it, then you should delay it and put it in.
What about you, Danny? What do you think? Is this a delay? Is this they should just release it and see what happens? What are your feelings on it?
I don't know anything about Halo, but I honestly think that gamers deserve nothing, so they should delay a game.
That's a pretty good answer. I like that.
I love it.
That's the perfect answer. We're moving on.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Delay
we're moving on.
Probably.
This next story is also coming from Wesley Yin-Poole over at Eurogamer, because Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza is in Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza is in Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. Sega has announced the Yakuza protagonist is a playable character, free and unlockable through normal gameplay on all platforms at launch. Sega said they're also including stuff like characters like Sonic and Tails and other guest characters. I made a joke online that I'll now finally play Super Monkey Ball just because Kiryu is there and he's my boy. So I just wanted to shout that out because this is fucking hilarious and never would I have expected Kiryu in a tiny little ball rolling around collecting bananas, but this is the world that we're currently living in. Darren, before we move off this, there's rumors that there's going to, well, not rumors, they have announced there's going to be another announcement in a few days for a new guest character. Who do you want to see in Super Monkey Ball? Who do you want to get slapped into a little ball and roll around collecting some bananas?
I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm going to make an out there guess and say it's going to be a zombie from House of the Dead.
All right.
Okay.
Because that's like, it seems like by them they also included Beat from Jet Set Radio as a character, and they're including Yakuza. I feel like they're going to be trying to include more out there Sega characters. So I'm like, what could be more out there than like someone from House of the Dead, their long forgotten light light gun arcade shooting game.
Oh, I remember that game.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. We're going to see at Gamescom opening night live who the hell is going to be joining Super Monkey Ball. And for our last story, again, Wesley Yinpool is just crushing it this week from Eurogamer. Everything announced during the Pokemon Presents. Yeah.
We have a
oh, sorry, our second last story. Our second last story. I'm a big old liar.
Thank you, Darren.
You're welcome. During the Pokemon Presents, we got a whole bunch of information. Pokemon Unite is coming to mobile devices on September 22nd, along with crossplay for the Nintendo Switch version. If you pre-register, you're going to get a cool-looking little Pikachu. Pokemon Cafe Mix is going to be coming, Pokemon Cafe Remix, with new Pokemon, new elements. Pokemon Go players are getting new stuff as well. We got some more information about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which are coming out November 19th. They showed off a bunch of new stuff along with the new Nintendo Switch Lite. And we got a big chunk of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is still set for January 28th, and admittedly looks much better than last time, but I still don't believe that game should be coming out in January. Everybody here knows that I'm a massive Pokemon fan. Pokemon Unite, I still haven't tried. But I'm warming up to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl the more that I see it. I wasn't a huge fan of the art style at first, but I'm warming up to it more and more. And Legends Arceus, Arceus, I am incredibly excited just because Cyndaquil's there and he's my favorite little Pokemon ever. Dani, are you much of a Pokemon fan?
No. So a couple months ago, when they posted a video about the latest Pokemon, I think it was Sword. No, what's the latest Pokemon that just came out?
Sword and Shield.
Yeah, okay.
Those are the latest ones. Yeah.
The one with the British people. When
Rayhan,
or how do you say his name? When he opened his mouth, I was deceived. I was so mad that he was British. I was so mad. I did not know it was based in Britain. So when he opened his mouth and he had a British accent, I was just like, shut up. Because I was mad. He was so fine. Now he's British and he's no longer fine because he's British. It hurt me.
I love the distaste for the British you have.
I
personally have nothing against them, but I just love it. You're like, and then he opened his mouth, and I was like, oh,
yeah, no. Them girls who like love British accents when we were younger, like Dan and Phil, it was never me. I thought they sounded gross, but
oh wow,
it was never me. I don't care about accents.
Really?
No.
Okay, I don't like. Okay, I'm not gonna say what accents I don't like. Let's just move on.
But yes, I don't know anything about Pokemon. I just think that Pokemon fans are a little crazy.
Matt is a little crazy.
Yeah, there are a lot of crazy. So you're 100% right there.
Yeah.
And our last story, I'm going to pull from Variety, written by Salome Hailu. Cowboy Bebop, Netflix releases first look photos at John Cho, and cast announces the premiere date. Netflix has released first look photos for the upcoming Cowboy Bebop's adaptation starring John Cho, which premieres on November 19th. And then, they just basically talk more about that it's coming. Destiny, you're a big Cowboy Bebop fan. Tell me about your feelings about these new pictures, or first pictures, really.
I don't like it. It. I'm sorry. Okay. I hear the look. John Cho should not be playing Spike. I am sorry. I know people are in love with him and they're like, oh my God, he looks so sexy. He does not look like Spike. Spike is supposed to be 28. John Cho does not look 28, not even with the makeup or anything like that. And I have an issue with taking established characters and then just flipping their ethnicity just to flip their ethnicity. So I don't like the fact that Jet is black now. I just don't unless that's going to bring some depth to his character, that I don't see the point in it. And I don't like their costumes. I think they look very cosplayish. And I agree. I know that some people don't like Faye's costume. And I wish they would have gone with her original costume. Her sexuality is a part of her character, her flamboyant being overly sexy is a part of it. And I think that should be represented in the anime. I just feel like when they take anime and turn it into live action, they just change a bunch of shit that doesn't need to be changed. It's not broken. Cowboy Bebop is already loved. It's already amazing as it is. Just take what you see and transpose it to live action. Don't change anything. It doesn't need to be changed. Just leave it as it is, and then and take actors who are not known Netflix can do that. Netflix has the power to pick new people and put them in roles. Like, you don't need John Cho for his name. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, pick
Mhm.
somebody who's unknown who can rock that fucking part. And that's my feeling on it. I'm not excited about it. I may watch it because I love Cowboy Bebop, but like I know I'm going to be like it's going to be underwhelming. Like, I'm
I'll do
going to
you.
be nitpicking everything. So
I'll do you one better, and I'll say take Cowboy Bebop and then just stop there. Don't even make it live action. It's
yeah,
perfect.
don't even
Don't
make it
do
a live
anything with it.
action.
I've never seen a
Just leave it
live
alone.
action anime adaptation in my life that I have enjoyed. Not one.
Nope.
You didn't like the Death Note one? I'm kidding.
No, oh, she's kidding. Okay.
You had me for a second.
Oh,
I
wow,
was
we're about
like,
to throw
that was
hands,
hot
yeah.
garbage, Danny. Like, I love everything that you've said, but that was hot garbage.
No,
But, yeah.
Death Note. I watched Death Note as an adult, so I never watched it growing up, and I think Death Note is a comedy. It is so funny.
Oh,
Light
that's
Yagami
hilarious.
is insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So I heard the audible gasp, Danny, when Destiny said she didn't like it. Well, did you see these photos? What do you feel? What are you feeling about them?
I mean, I've never seen Cowboy Bebop, because like I said, I didn't watch a lot of anime growing up. I watched a lot of anime. I did watch was like Ouran Host Club, so that doesn't count.
I know that one.
So I saw it and I was like, this looks cool, but I think that we need to stop doing live action adaptations of animated series because
Yes.
no one's asking for them.
Nobody is asking for
we-
them.
we
I know
already
a
got-
lot of people. A lot of people were excited when they saw Benedict Cumberbatch. He did a cosplay as Spike. You guys can look it up. He looks the part. It looks really dope. And I know a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, that's so cool! Like, they should do a live action of it," because he just looked visually. He just looked really good. Yeah, he just looked really good.
Wow,
but
that's actually impressive.
right. So if anybody, they should have picked him. But anyways,
I don't want a white man playing an anime character.
yeah, but Spike Spiegel's not Japanese.
Oh, I did not know that. My fault.
Yeah, he's not Japanese. But I agree with Danny. I think and with Darren, I think we need to just leave anime as it is. Like, it's fine as it is. You don't need to remake it. And if you're gonna remake it, like, please do it with a big budget so it looks good. Everything about those pictures look campy. Like, it looks like a 90s sci-fi movie. It just looks fucking bad. I'm sorry.
Isn't
I know people are
Castlevania
gonna be
also
mad.
getting a live action?
I heard, and I just
I
don't
hope they
think that's
don't. That'd be
necessary.
kind of funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
I thought the anime was really good. Except like the action scenes were dope as fuck. You could tell they spent a lot of time on the action scenes, but some of the other scenes where they're just talking, like, you can tell they dropped frames, and I was just like, oh, y'all didn't have the budget to make it all look good.
The studio that does all of Netflix anime typically does a very good job. They did a very good job with Dorohedoro. That's a very good anime.
That was so good. Are they coming out with a second season?
No, they're just gonna do Beastar season 3.
Are you serious?
No, so my theory is that have you seen Cannon Busters?
Yes.
Okay, so my theory is that Netflix comes out with these like diverse-ish kind of stories, like animes, like Cannon Busters, Dorohedoro, and then they see it doesn't sell as well as they want it, so they ignore it for a couple years and they bring it back. And instead, they bring Beastars season 2, not even 7 months after the first season came out.
Was it that fast?
It came out pretty fast.
Wow.
But what I didn't understand is, like, okay, so I guess a lot of people like Beastars or whatever, but Beastars just seem like teenage angst, but we're animals. Like, that is what Beastars was to me. Doro was so good, and it left on a terrible cliffhanger.
I know.
Like, it left on a terrible cliffhanger. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you do Tuesday, but okay, my thing is that I think they already had, for Beastars, I think they already planned out to have that many episodes, is what I think, and they already had those done.
Well, where the fuck is Cannon Busters? It's been like 3 years.
I don't know. Girl, I don't know.
The thing is that I like Beastars a lot. I think Beastars is a very good story because I hate high school media with a fucking passion. I think that so many stories are so much better, could be so much better if they were set in college, because it erases all of the unnecessary, bordering the line of child porn, borderline of very weird things that adults, like teenagers, shouldn't be doing. Example of
Right.
this, Euphoria. But I just think that Beastars does a really good job because it doesn't really focus on high school. It focuses on um, like their allegory of gender and like
See,
racism.
I have to disagree because I felt like the whole first season he wanted to. I'm sorry, spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, don't listen past this point. He wanted to fuck the rabbit. Like his whole thing was, I want to get with this rabbit, but I don't know how to get with this rabbit because I don't have enough self esteem, and I'm the weird wolf kid. Like that is what the whole first season was about, right?
Yeah,
And
but
then
this-
like she was like the school slut.
Yeah, that was a little weird. But the second
That was
season,
very weird.
that's why I keep on saying, like, what's the point of all this teen media? Why do they have
Yeah,
to be
like we
teens?
didn't need that. We did not need that at all. Like that was so weird. And then there's a part where they're in a hotel, like a
Oh
love
my
motel, and they're gonna do it, but then they don't do it. And he's like, she's so small, and he's so big. And I was just like, oh my god.
Okay.
I watched all of it though.
You need to
the
watch
second
the second
season was
season.
better.
You need to, yeah. The second season is a lot better. I think the second season,
Yeah, the second season was
does a better
lot
job
better.
of focusing outside of the high school because, like,
Yes.
I think they had to set the scene a little, but it focuses more on individual characters, which is another reason why I don't like My Hero Academia.
Oh,
Aside
I
from all
never
the
watched
reasons,
that.
It's don't waste your time. Have you guys watched it? Have you two watched it?
Yeah, I love
No,
it.
I've heard good things about it. You liked it, yeah. I've
Matt
heard
likes
good
high
things about
school
it.
stuff.
My Hero Academia, Darren, we literally watch it together.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about Beastars. I like My Hero Academia. I thought we were still talking about Beastars. I got confused for a second there. I haven't seen Beastars. I have seen My Hero Academia.
I don't know.
You guys
I
would probably like Beastars.
Yeah, Beastars is pretty good. It's on
The second
Netflix.
I've heard good things. I just haven't gotten around to watching it.
It's a very quick watch. Like you can watch it in like a day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you can skip like most of the first season.
Yeah. When you start feeling a little uncomfortable, just skip ahead.
Yeah, just skip. Because I was like, is this sexual tension? Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of anime. To close this off, a lot of anime in general is not good. And the sooner that we get to that point, the better. Because I'm tired of people being like, "Oh, this anime is so good. It's so awesome. It's the best anime ever. Oh, Goku could never." Shit like that. Like Jujutsu Kaisen is a very big
Goku
anime
could
right now.
never.
And
Which one?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, okay.
With Gojo,
Sure.
the thirsty man of the year.
Yeah, people want him.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen's not good. It has very compelling characters, but it's not a good story. Same with Demon Slayer. Well, I don't like Demon Slayer for other reasons, but I just wish that anime fans could admit that things aren't good without being mad.
I agree. I agree.
Like,
and
we should
and
be
that
able
they
to
could let
credit-
things go
Yes!
after like once they jump the shark. Because I feel like Naruto and One Piece and Inuyasha, like they could have like definitely sized that whole story down. But they just kept going. One Piece has like over 300 something episodes.
Dude,
I don't
give it
even
to
know.
God.
1,000.
Give it to
It's
God.
it's a crazy amount, and I'm just
It's
like,
almost it's like 1,000 episodes, and he said he's halfway done.
it's this, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. They meet a new character. That character has some trouble, and they never get to where they want to get to. And I'm just like, this is the longest journey of my life.
Yeah, like when I watched, because I watched Naruto as an adult too. I watched Naruto last year, and I was just
Naruto
like,
was really good when it first came out. I'm not gonna lie. There were moments that I cried.
the thing is that Naruto's not a bad anime. It's just so much fucking filler.
Yeah, no,
And
I
also,
stopped watching
you know what?
it.
Naruto's
When did
biggest
I stop
issue is that they
watching
have too many characters and he doesn't develop half of them. So it seems like they're just kind of there, and they don't really provide to like moving the story forward. Like Naruto has all this development, Sasuke has all this development. They should be kissing, anyways. But instead, everyone around them is like the same as like the first episode. So like, but I guess that's what happens when you write 100 characters into a series and then you forget about half of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you write them for
All right,
thousands
D,
of
bring us
episodes.
home.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
all right. So that was Matt telling us to wrap things up. All right, Dean, bring us home.
I'm sorry, I ramble a
No.
lot.
No,
No, don't be sorry. No,
Don't
not at
be
all.
sorry. This is definitely not our longest episode, but
No, not by a long stretch.
I really appreciate you taking the time, Danny, because I know you're super
Thank you
busy.
so
You just
much.
had a move. So thank you
Seriously.
so much for coming on and talking about your game and just giving us a point of view on what it's like behind the scenes. And just one more time, can you drop your socials and information about the game so our listeners know where to find you?
Cool. All right. My name is Dani Lalanders. My pronouns are they, she. You can find me on Twitter, Dani Lalanders, DaniLalonders. I had to think about that. That is the same as my TikTok. My TikTok account is also Dani Lalanders. You can follow me there for game dev stuff. I post about what I do for a living. And then you can follow Validate at validategame.com, Validate Game on Twitter, anywhere, any social media for Validate Game. I took all the usernames, no one else could. So, yeah, stand Validate, as always.
And we will have all of her information down at the bottom along with our information. And that's going to be it for us. So, Dani, can you tell our listeners bye-bye?
Bye, y'all. Have a wonderful day. Get vaccinated. I don't give a fuck if you're anti-vax. Go get vaccinated. We need to get the fuck out of this pandemic.
Please go get vaccinated. Oh my God, yes. Darren, anything else you'd like to say?
No, that was a wonderful way to end it. That was great.
Yep.
All right. Matt?
Good.
All right. So we'll catch you guys this Wednesday with our new bonus stage episode. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we're done.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're done here. We're done, Matt. End it. Cut it off.
Thank you so much.
Pieces, guys. I have my wonderful coat. Can we start over? I was just not ready for that, even though we did the
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
threw
like
you off.
stumbling. Yeah. Okay.
That's okay. Let's do it again.